Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Karen with Fairy Garden Bath, and today we are going to be making a whipped body butter. Now this is a pretty simple recipe. You only need just a couple of ingredients that are pretty easy to find, and this is kind of what the end product looks like. You can see it's just a light and fluffy and lovely body butter that to use on your skin. So let's get right to it. Okay, so our first ingredient, I am going to be putting in shea butter. And I use the refined shea butter, but you could definitely use the unrefined if that's what you have on hand. I don't see there being any issues with that. I just use the refined because I don't want a scent from the butter, and I've never actually tried the unrefined, but I have heard that it could have a little bit of a scent to it, so I just stick with the refined when I do body butter. And for this recipe I'm putting in 400 grams, and I like shea butter because it is very moisturizing and it's rich in vitamins and fatty acids. Okay, so there's our shea butter. Next up, we have fractionated coconut oil. And this I like because it's a light oil, and I find that it's not super greasy, and it is also very rich in hydrating properties and can help soothe and soften the skin. And I am putting in 240 grams. Next up we have good old-fashioned coconut oil, and this I get right from Costco. And similar to the fractionated coconut oil, it's very hydrating and helps the skin retain its moisture. And we are putting in 154 grams of the coconut oil. Sorry, it just takes me a minute here to get it all scooped out. And there we go. So we have 154 grams of the coconut oil. And finally, our last ingredient I'm putting in is Isopropyl Myristate. I hope I'm saying that right. And this is used as an emollient and a thickening agent. It has a very unique property to it that it helps reduce the greasy feel of products that have a high oil content. And since the body butter is pretty much all oil and butter, it is quite high in oil content. And if you don't have the isopropyl myristate, you can omit it. Just up the either the fractionated coconut oil or the regular coconut oil. Just add some more in. And I put 46 grams of the isopropyl myristate. And now we are just going to heat it up. It's going to take probably 20 minutes to half an hour to get this all melted. So I'm going to speed things up here, so we're not sitting around for half an hour watching butter slowly melt. All right, so the shea butter is now fully melted. We can get that off the heat. And I'm just going to give it a quick stir just to make sure everything is blended really well together. And I'm going to pour it into my stand mixer bowl. I am going to be using a stand mixer to mix it, but if you don't have a stand mixer, you can definitely use a hand mixer. You know, it just makes it's a little more difficult with a hand mixer, but it definitely can be done. And that is the first step. So now I need to put it in the fridge and let it cool for at least, I'd say at least 4 hours. I usually leave mine overnight just to make sure that it is nice and hard when I go to mix it. But yeah, I would say leave it for at least 4 hours. And I'm going to cover it before I put it in the fridge just to make sure that nothing gets in it, no dust or anything like that. So you don't have to cover it, but I do just to make sure nothing falls in it. Alright, it has been the next day, so I let my body butter sit in the fridge overnight. And now you can see it is nice and it's fully hard. And now we're going to mix it with the stand mixer. And you can see that it is still somewhat pliable, like I can push my stand mixer into it. So it's not, you know, hard as a rock, it's still a little pliable. And I'm just going to start my stand mixer on low initially. And as it's going, you will start to see that it does start to soften up. So probably going to be, I think I mixed it for a total of about 5 minutes. This was just about 30 seconds here, just to kind of get it going a little bit. I'm now going to be adding in my Arrowroot Powder, and I'm putting in 72 grams. And this is also to help with the greasy feeling. I find with the Arrowroot Powder, it really cuts down on the greasiness of the product. I mean, it is going to be much heavier than a typical lotion, but the Arrowroot Powder definitely helps. And this is vitamin E. It's an antioxidant, and I'm putting in 4 grams. And this also can help extend the shelf life of oil products. And yes, the Arrowroot Powder will poof up when you're mixing it. So I would recommend mixing on low until the Arrowroot Powder gets mixed into the product. So yeah, we're going to let that mix for a good 5 minutes. And now you can see here that it has started to fluff up. It's starting to have the consistency more like a whipped cream, and that's what we're going for. So we want it nice and light and fluffy, and the more you mix it, the more air is going to get incorporated into it, and the fluffier it's going to get. I'm honestly not sure if you mix it too long, if it will collapse. I haven't had it happen, so you just want to keep an eye on it. I would say if you're using a stand mixer, 5 minutes is good. Hand mixer might take a little bit longer. I haven't actually tried using a hand mixer, so I couldn't tell you offhand how long, but you know, you just kind of have to use your judgment, and when it starts to have the consistency of whipped cream, that is when your product is good. I would say that would be when to stop. So yeah, I can see it's light, it's fluffy. That's exactly what we're going for. Oh, and I forgot to mention, when you put the Arrowroot Powder and vitamin E, that is also where you would put in your fragrance. If you're using a fragrance, I'm doing an unscented batch, so that is why I didn't put any essential oil or fragrance oil in. And to bottle these up, I'm just using a straight-sided 8-ounce glass jar, and I get these from Uline. And I'm going to be putting in about 120 grams per bottle, per jar. You can use a piping bag. I'm not good with piping bags, so I'm just using a spatula. I find for me that works good enough. I'm just going to give it a couple taps, get everything to kind of settle to the bottom so I can get enough product in. And there we go. So we have one body butter all bottled up. I've made a bit of a mess. I gotta clean it up. And there we go. So that's body butter. It's pretty easy. I'd say it's, pretty simple recipe. Other than the isopropyl myristate, all the ingredients are readily available. I actually didn't have any trouble finding the isopropyl myristate. I got it from Windy Point Soap Company in Calgary, Alberta, but I'm sure other suppliers have it too. You just have to Google it and find out. But yeah, you can leave it out. Your body butter will just be a little heavier, might have a little bit more of a greasy feel to it than if you don't have it in. But honestly, when I started out, I didn't have the isopropyl myristate, and I just made the body butter with the coconut oils and the shea butter. And I don't know, I found it was just fine. So yeah, that's body butter. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave me a big thumbs up, or subscribe would be awesome. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the description box below. And I will see you in the next one.